With the growing interest in spiritual practices and their prevalence on social media, many of us have started exploring the hidden realms without realizing that we may be inviting various influences in. In this upcoming season of darkness, why is psychic protection necessary? It's because our universe is filled with subtle energies that constantly shape our lives, often unnoticed. And while there are some people who are unaware of the complexities of their own energetic fields, there are also individuals who not only understand, but also have harmful spiritual intentions. Surprisingly, we can be unwittingly drawn into negatively aligned agreements just by consent. Additionally, many of us carry unresolved trauma that deeply impacts us. And therefore, psychic protection becomes an essential tool to shield ourselves from these energetic vulnerabilities. So, what does a psychic attack look like? A psychic attack can take various forms. So, the first is a physiological reaction. It can manifest as a physical or emotional response in our bodies, often as a result of someone inflicting negative energy on us. It can appear as an auric field infringement. It occurs when an external entity or negative polarity energy breaches our auric field, our energetic boundary, and starts to affect our well being. It can happen through mental control. So, psychic attacks may involve someone attempting to exert control over you, over your will, or manipulate your thoughts and your actions. It can happen through subconscious suggestion. This is everywhere. These attacks can involve influencing your subconscious mind, often with harmful intentions. It can happen through undermining your self worth. So, psychic attacks can also be directed at tearing down your sense of self, making you question your validity or your self worth. Psychic attacks are often ego driven behavior. So, sometimes psychic attacks stem from someone's self centeredness or their ego driven motivations, whether that's you or the other person. It can happen through auric field vulnerabilities, so holes in your auric field, which can result from abuse, trauma, or substance abuse, can leave you susceptible to psychic attacks. It happens when we absorb negative emotions. So, psychic attacks can involve absorbing negative energy from others, which can adversely affect your own emotional state. And finally, it can happen through black magic and curses. So, in some cases, psychic attacks are deliberate actions using black magic or curses with the intent to harm or manipulate the other person. These attacks can be subtle or overt, and psychic protection practices aim to shield individuals from their negative effects. So, how do we recognize the symptoms of psychic attack? Well, you might experience recurring negative thoughts that seem to come out of nowhere. They can bring on sudden anxiety and depression. You may notice a drop in your self esteem, increased fatigue, or disturbing dreams. But where do these spiritual attacks actually strike? Typically, they target our sense of self and being. And one common area affected is the solar plexus, which is an important energy center related to the intelligence of the self. Another layer under attack is our etheric body. This is responsible for safeguarding our energy and our physical well being. And this layer corresponds to the element of fire in our energy system. So, doing practices which increase the body's elemental fire are remedies for psychic attack. Let's talk about the elements of spiritual protection. So, first is your personal fire. This represents your sense of being and the power to assert your will. It's closely linked to your auric shield, and it acts as your primary defense against negative entities and energetic attachments. Secondly, is your emotions and your reactions. So, your emotions and reactions play a critical role in psychic protection. They can either serve as gateways or shields against negative entities. Emotional triggers and trauma induced stress can weaken your sense of self, your inner fire, leaving your auric field vulnerable to attachment by negative entities. That is literally how they enter. Psychic attack happens in the mind. Okay, so recurring negative thoughts, depression, anxiety, these are all signs of psychic attack and mental distress. So, unaddressed mental anguish can have detrimental effects on your overall well being, when you start to feel these things, anxiety, depression, mental distress, moving these emotions, moving these thoughts out of the body is important. So, trauma resides in the subconscious. So, this leads to behavioral patterns that attract situations or people echoing the energy of the traumatic event. So, integrating these imprints into your awareness is essential to healing and protection. So, shadow work, shadow work, shadow work. Now, the body is a compass. Your body can act as a compass. It signals when something is amiss or danger is near. It often reacts in situations where negative energy is directed at you. So, paying attention to these bodily signals can help you to stay protected. And the baseline of this pyramid of psychic protection is your physical health. The state of your physical body can impact the strength of your auric shield. Poor physical health can weaken your defenses, making you more susceptible to entity attachment or negative energetic cords. So the protection doesn't just happen on a psychic realm. It's about the food you eat, the sleep that you get, the water that you drink. These elements are all essential for understanding and strengthening your psychic protection. Let's explore the power of forgiveness and shadow work. So, forgiveness is an immensely powerful tool in spiritual protection because it liberates individuals from the cords of expectation and attachment to others, beings, or timelines. It effectively moves negatively polarized energy out of the body and neutralizes it, strengthening the magnetic field of the heart through surrender. This act raises one's frequency, potentially shifting the course of their entire life, moving them out of the trauma cycle and into a new timeline. As part of this process, it's essential to create a list of individuals with whom forgiveness needs to be applied within your relationships. And then you can apply the act of shadow work. So, the concept of the shadow self, right? It's a psychological term describing those buried aspects of ourselves that we often don't want to acknowledge residing in our subconscious. So, these aspects of ourselves carry responsibility in these relationships. And these aspects are often born from trauma, big or small, and they can trigger us emotionally. And when we fail to integrate these shadow aspects, our soul becomes fragmented, leaving us vulnerable to spiritual attacks. So the key lies in integrating the shadow, which results in a different response, which will be rooted in love and understanding rather than hate or victimization. To do this, consider identifying similar cycles of energy in your relationships and holding yourself accountable for your actions and your reactions. This self awareness and integration work can lead to profound personal growth and massive, massive spiritual protection power. Let's talk about declarations and revocations. So, a declaration is a statement that anchors your choices, while a revocation is a powerful tool that cancels contracts and dispels energies. When spoken out loud with intent, a strong revocation or declaration becomes one of the most potent protection tools. It's a testament to your power, your sense of self, your confidence, and your authority to command your space. What makes it even more powerful is when you write it yourself. So these declarations can be used for various purposes, such as protecting yourself, cutting cords, negating agreements, or canceling soul contracts. For instance, you can declare your self authority with something like this. This is one of my favorite revocations. In the name of the original prime creator of this universe, I command through the law that I am protected. Through my born authority as spirit embodied, I command ownership of all that I am. Everything that is not of my original source creation must be released from me now. This is my will. This is the law. These declarations and revocations can be transformative tools in your spiritual journey. So I hope you try them at home. Let's delve into the realm of spiritual protection through dream time. Many of us engage in astral travel during our dream state, but often We have no idea how to command our authority in this ethereal realm. I mean, we think we're sleeping, so we think we're having a good dream. We are following the dream, but we have no idea that we can command it. This leaves us vulnerable as various attacks and energetic interactions can occur while we're in this state. Moreover, our subconscious is trying to help us to process hidden traumas through our dreams. But unfortunately, spirits, entities, and negatively aligned beings can use the playground of our sleep state to draw us into nefarious experiences. So it's crucial to command both your sleep and waking states for protection. For example, you can command your sleep state with a declaration just like this. In the name of the original prime creator of this universe, I command through the law that my physical, astral, emotional, mental, and sexual bodies are protected while I sleep. I command my soul, astral body, and spirit to stay in a high frequency vibration and access only spirit aligned energy realms and beings. This is my will, this is the law. So by doing so, you can safeguard your dreamtime experiences and maintain a sense of spiritual protection. Anything that your astral body or your spirit does accidentally in dream time, you can clear while awakening, and that is going to be the next video. Check it out. So say you had a crazy dream and you know something isn't right, like something may have attached to you in that realm, or maybe you were playing in that realm and you may have consented to something that you didn't mean to. So ensuring a clear awakening from sleep, you can use a revocation slash declaration. And the one that I like to use is this one. In the name of the original prime creator of this universe, I command through the law that any agreements, experiences, interactions, connections, or entrapments with lower frequency, service to self, negative polarity beings, entities, energies, or technologies that I have engaged with in dream time be completely removed, abolished, rendered inert, and misaligned with the present moment. I command my protection and authority through spirit. I call back all of my soul and spirit, cleansed, cleared, and protected. All portals, access points, gateways, stargates, back doors, and bleed throughs must be sealed now. This is my will. This is the law. This practice can help ensure a clear and protected transition from the dream state to wakefulness. And you won't have any gross residual feelings from waking up from a crazy dream, and it won't affect the way that you live your life in your waking state. So I hope you try it at home. One thing we want to remember about spiritual protection is this: we are not inferior to any dark force. We are equal, if not superior, because we are embodiments of God with the power of choice. We have creation energy. We have to be constantly aware of why we are engaging in various practices. We have to check our desires for power, our desires to serve ourselves, our trauma points, our behavioral patterns. These are all ways in which we can be entered into and manipulated by negatively polarized entities. Our highest protection is our intellect of self, our ego self, our shadow self, and our knowledge of self as an aspect of God, our reverence for ourselves as such, our courage, our responsibility, our ability to forgive in service to something much greater than us in this now moment. So just remember that in this season of shadow, it only takes one lamp to dispel the darkness. Be safe, be spiritually safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.